In the headlines, Anambra State Governor says CBN directed banks to dispense old notes. Over 100 shops raised as fire guts Singa Commodities Market in Kano. Imo State Government launches investigation into the cause of the collapse of two buildings at different locations in Owerri, the state capital. And on the foreign scene, 30 missing, 17 rescued as boat capsizes north of Libya. Hello and welcome to Trans TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. We begin with the Naira redesign policy, where the commercial banks have been directed by the Central Bank of Nigeria to dispense old currency notes and to also receive same as deposit from customers. This was disclosed by Governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Charles Soludo, a former central bank governor, in a special announcement on his verified Facebook page this morning. Recall that Daily Trust had exclusively reported that some commercial banks had commenced payment of the old Naira notes despite the absence of any directive by the CBN. The Anambra State Governor said tellers at the commercial banks are to generate the codes for the deposits, and there is no limit to the number of times an individual or company can make deposits. Soludo said the CBN governor gave the directive at a bankers committee meeting held on Sunday, 12th March 2023. He said the governor, Dr. Godwin Emefiele, personally confirmed the above to him during a phone conversation on Sunday night, advising residents of Anambra to freely accept and transact their businesses with the old currency notes of 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira, as well as the new notes. He called on residents to report any bank that refuses to accept deposits of the old notes, noting that Anambra State Government will not only report such a bank to the CBN, but will also immediately shut down the defaulting branch. Spokesman Isa Abdulmumini could not be reached to confirm this claim. However, sources at the Apex Bank told our reporter that there have been several virtual meetings between Emefiele and bank chiefs leading up to yesterday evening, and there are strong indications that the news is true. The CBN, as at the time of this story, has not debunked the claim of Governor Soludo. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele has described as fake, false and malicious the rumors making the rounds that he is plotting against the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The National Daily, in its lead story of Monday, accused Emefiele of plotting with a billionaire retired general from the north to provide funds to Gbadegbo Rhodes Viva, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Lagos, to enable him defeat Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the incumbent governor. But in a statement issued on Monday, Isa Abdulmumini, CBN's acting director of corporate communications, said Emefiele does not take part in politics. He said the aforementioned story went further to allege that the governor has made a certain amount of money available to a political aspirant ahead of March 18, 2023 governorship polls. And now to Kano State, where a fire outbreak is currently ongoing at the popular commodities Singa Market, which is located along Ibrahim Taiwo Road leading to Bello Road. The fire, according to eyewitnesses, started since midnight but could not be controlled until after 8 a.m. in the morning. Firefighters alongside marketers were working to bring the situation under control and stop the fire from spreading to other places. One of the marketers, Abubakar Aminu, whose shop was burnt, said he received a call from gatemen at around 1:15 a.m. But when he arrived around 2 a.m., his shop was ablaze and he could not carry anything out. According to him, the fire spread to 3 more plazas, which contain over 100 shops and a store with goods worth millions of naira. Singa is located along Ibrahim Taiwo Road in Kano and is the largest market where foodstuffs are sold in the state. Daily Trust reports that this is the third outbreak within the 2 major markets in the state. And now to Imo State, where the state government has launched an investigation into the cause of the collapse of 2 buildings at different locations in Owerri, the state capital. Reports say the 2-story buildings were at various stages of completion before they caved in on Friday and Saturday. However, no life was lost in the incidents. General Manager of Owerri Capital Development Area, Francis Chukwu, who visited the scene of the collapsed buildings at Emekuku, ordered a probe into the incident. Chukwu disclosed that the agency had earlier stopped the construction of the building during one of its routine operational activities after his operatives of OCDA had discovered the inadequacies in the building construction process. He explained that the issues of building collapse remain the major reason why the Development Control Agency continues to leave no stone unturned in ensuring that developers adhere strictly to all safety standards in the building construction process. Chukwu revealed that in-depth investigation will further be carried out to unravel the remote and immediate causes of the building collapse with a view to avoiding such incidences subsequently. And now to politics, where with the postponement of the governorship and state houses of assembly elections, many political parties have intensified their campaigns, while some have collapsed their structures to join others. In Adamawa, the one-week extension creates a chance for the two leading parties, headed by Ahmadu Fintiri and Senator Aishatu Binani, to receive defectors to their camps. Salis Lawan has details.
The one-week extension of the election by the Independent National Electoral Commission has provided an opportunity for the parties to make further effort to win the hearts of the masses. It will be recalled the Labour Party governorship candidate in Adamawa, Umar Mustafa, joined the All Progressive Congress to help its candidate win the election. Few days later, People's Democratic Party Central Zone aspirant Abubakar Ibrahim Gombe also joined the Binani scam. They both call on their supporters to unite and ensure victory is for Binani.
I am specifically saying all my supporters, all means all my supporters should come out en masse and vote for Senator Aishatu Binani.
It has always been my desire for this, my brother, from my uncle, to join me and support me in actualizing my ambition. And today is a day come and asking what value will this add to this journey. Certainly, I'm sure whoever sees this combination today, I'm sure the opposition will be shaking. They know that APC.
For APM, ABGA, NRM, ZLP, ADP, and APP gubernatorial candidates, moving to Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintiri's camp is best choice. While on his part, the Adamawa State Action Alliance gubernatorial candidate Suleiman Tahir vehemently debunked rumors going round of his stepping down for Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintiri.
And I hereby state vehemently, unequivocally, that I'm still in the race for the governorship of Adamawa State. And I will never, and I have no intention whatsoever to align with any other party.
Now, both APC's Aishatu Binani and Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party have been visibly involved in the campaign in several places, including churches, markets, and streets, trying to woo as many voters as possible. Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
Meanwhile, the Accord Party in Oyo State has inaugurated a new state executive council just 6 days to the governorship elections on Saturday. The national leadership of the party has dissolved the former state executive council after they openly endorsed Governor Seyi Makinde of the People's Democratic Party as the preferred governorship candidate instead of the party's candidate, Adebayo Adelabu. The national leadership of the party on Sunday inaugurated a 5-man caretaker committee led by Isiaka Salami, condemning the action of the former state executives. National legal advisor of the party said it was shameful for a group of people to constitute themselves against the decision of the party, promising to sanction them according to party provisions. The party's governorship candidate, Adebayo Adelabu, said the betrayal was not unexpected but never acceptable, expressing shock that some individuals could turn to political jobbers for selfish gains.
They only pay, okay, it has happened like that. Our federal candidate lost because of Asiwaju tsunami. Not because they were not popular, not because they were not competent, not because they did not spend money, not because they did not campaign. After the election, these people sold us out. Yes. They sold us out. I will not be specific because I was not there. The one who make a party chairman who never attended our campaign. Did he attend our campaign? No.
I am not here on my own. I am standing before you on the authority of the National Working Committee of Accord and our national chairman. They sent me to let people know that the actions of the previous ESCO of Accord is completely condemnable. Accord solidly stand behind our candidate. Not only the commercial candidate, but all candidates contesting the election under Accord in Oyo State.
All I have said is that we have a task, daunting task before us. And that task is to work for Mr. Adebayo Adelabu to win this election. Amen. There is no two ways for any political man or any politician. All you want to hear is that we voted and we won.
And some residents of Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, have continued to react to the rescheduling of the 2023 governorship and State House of Assembly elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. According to them, the development had disrupted their plans, and they want the Commission to perfect its plans to ensure early arrival of officials at the various polling units so that the exercise could commence at the scheduled time. The report.
Residents of Gusau Metropolis have expressed their sadness over the rescheduling of the 2023 governorship and assembly election to 18th March 2023 by the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, when they already planned to troop out last Saturday to vote for candidates of their choice. Musa Umar, who is a civil society activist based in Zamfara State, called on the Commission to ensure people who have the capacity to operate the Bimodal Voters Accreditation System BVAS be allowed to use the machine in the governorship and the state assembly elections so as to avoid the challenges faced in the last presidential and National Assembly elections. He advised INEC to fine-tune their preparation to ensure early commencement of the election in order not to keep voters for longer hours at the polling booths.
If you have 50 as a figure, for example, 20 people voted, let's see 20, if there's invalid, but the issue of election summary sheet results, but there are some of them that you even see that you know that this is not really something that one could accept and so on. So please talk to your staff. Let us have a clean copy of the election summary results. What is this figure for? What is that for?
Suleiman Abubakar and Abdul Balarabi, who are voters, said they were eager to vote for the candidates of their choice, but their hopes were shattered by the postponement of the governorship and the state assembly elections. They called on the Commission to fulfill its promise to Nigerians that the 2023 general elections will be conducted with the use of Bimodal Voters Accreditation System BVAS and results transmitted electronically to INEC result viewing portals.
In the last elections, they said the election is going to be an electronic election and e-transmission of results, but we found out none of that happened in the elections. So we expect this one to be as it tells us to be electronically voted and electronically transmitted to their server. But if it happens to be not like that, that's why we'll be very disappointed, because it's of no use to postpone the election if they know it's not going to be as they told us to be.
To use the results sent to them through their portal, because there are many agitations that people said this election was not how the chairman said it is going to be conducted.
They urged the electorate not to be discouraged with the rescheduling of the governorship and the state assembly elections, but they should come out to vote for candidates whom they believe are credible, are competent to govern them.
And now to matters of security, where the Ogun Police Command have rescued a journalist, Seun Oduneye, from kidnappers after a gun battle which reportedly lasted for 45 minutes. Oduneye, who was the publisher of Issues magazine, was kidnapped at Mobalofun area of Ijebu-Ode on Thursday. The journalist was on his way to Ijebu-Ode from Abeokuta when the kidnappers pounced on him. He was riding in his Toyota Camry car when he was attacked at about 7:50 p.m. The abductors phoned his wife the following morning and demanded 30 million naira ransom to free the victim. Police spokesman Abimbola Oyeyemi on Monday morning, however, confirmed the rescue of the journalist. He said after the report of the kidnapping, the Commissioner of Police, Frank Mba, directed the DPO of Obalende Divisional Headquarters, SP Murphy Salami, to ensure the safe rescue of the victim. Oyeyemi quoted the CP to have warned criminals to steer clear from Ogun State, as the command is battle ready to take the fight to their doorstep. Still with us on Trust TV News Update, still ahead. We take a look at protection of public infrastructure. Whose responsibility is it? Details of this and more after the break. Stay with us. Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's take another look at our top stories. Anambra State Governor says CBN directed banks to dispense old Naira notes. And over 100 shops razed as fire guts Singa Commodities Market in Kano. And moving on to other news now. A resident of Halliru Street of Jos North local government area of Plateau State, Ibrahim Naziru, has accused police personnel of arresting and brutalizing him without any cogent reason. Naziru explained that he was tortured and subjected to inhuman treatment, causing injuries on his body. He is calling on the relevant authority to take action against his maltreatment. Azu Musa completes the story.
February 21st this year will ever remain in the memory of Naziru. This is so because of the physical and mental torture he allegedly experienced in the hands of police. While narrating his ordeal on Sunday, the victim said the degree of punishment inflicted on him while he was at the Metro Police Station in Panteka area of Kaduna State could have led to his death. Naziru, who described his arrest and detention as illegal, explained how the police whisked him away from Plateau to Kaduna State.
Sunana Naziru Ibrahim.
My name is Naziru Ibrahim, residing along Halliru Street. On February 21st, when I was about to open the gate of my house, a group of people suddenly approached me and said I was under arrest. I asked them to allow me inform my wife, but refused. I also asked them to allow me inform my relatives and associates, but refused. They forced me into their bus and drove to Kaduna and eventually arrived at Metro Police Station in Panteka area of Kaduna State. Asked if the police had told him his offense before subjecting him to punishment, The victim has this to say.
Police station na Metro da ke.
Before you know anything on our arrival, they tie me up and put slabs and tires on my back and asked to explain my life from the age of 7 to death. They subjected me to all kinds of punishment and maltreatment for an offense I don't know and never know. The punishment resulted to injuries over my body. The victim father asked Inspector General of Police to investigate his maltreatment and bring perpetrators to book. I call on the relevant authority, especially the IG, to do the needful to ensure that those officers who inflicted the injuries on me and subjected me to severe punishment do not go free. This will serve as a deterrent to others. The victim father called on security agency to first ensure one is guilty of an offense before taking action against them. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Now, it is the responsibility of government to provide infrastructure to make life meaningful for its citizens. It is equally the citizens' responsibility to protect the infrastructure to provide for their welfare. However, people often vent their anger by destroying public infrastructure. Kabir Lawal speaks to Abuja residents on whose responsibility it is to protect public facilities.
Provision of public infrastructure is the sole responsibility of government. But citizens vandalize public facility like electrical installations, rail track, or manhole for selfish reasons. A cross-section of people that spoke to Trust TV News said the destruction of public property can be attributed to ignorance, hunger, poverty, and frustration.
My advice is to the young people, please, no matter what, we shouldn't resort to violence. Let's not destroy public properties, be it government or private. Please, there are better ways to channel our grievances. So it is better with dialogue than destruction, because it will still cost us to recover from those destructions.
Government does not respect the rule of law, and we don't think you don't expect any common youth out there to come and respect your own rule, that you don't respect the rule of law. Me, on my own, I always talk about I look at the positive ends of things a lot. You understand me? But government of today does not know if the youth are existing or not. You understand? Imagine if you can call the president of Nigeria to come to court and he said nothing like court. The Supreme Court will give judgment based on our naira to be legal, and the government will say nothing. So we don't respect rule of law, so we don't expect anybody to respect the government.
Some said the youth should channel grievances through the appropriate authority and not to resort to destruction or looting of public property.
Do the right thing. No job. All our foreign jobs are recruiting to Ghana. Everything, Mobile, Toyota. Oh, Ghana. So what are we doing?
This is not far from the reality of the changing climate and the heat wave. You know, all of this make people to behave differently. Let's stay calm and trust something better will happen in the nearest future.
Respondents implore the youths to be vanguard of public assets, calling on government to provide job opportunities for them to be more productive. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now for a look at the foreign scene, where 30 people are missing and 17 have been rescued in the central Mediterranean after the boat in which they were traveling from Libya capsized in bad weather. According to Italy's Coast Guard, the boat carrying 47 people was traveling in the direction of Italy and capsized 177 kilometers north of Benghazi. Rescue operations were ongoing, supported by merchant ships and aerial support by the European Union's border agency, Frontex, while 2 further merchant vessels were en route to the area. After an initial rescue attempt by a merchant ship failed due to bad weather, Libyan authorities asked Rome for help, given that they lacked the means to carry out the rescue. The Coast Guard statement added. Rome then requested merchant ships in the area to join the rescue efforts. noting that the capsize occurred outside Italy's search and rescue area. And on a sad note, a former coach of the Super Falcons, Ismaila Mabo, has died after a protracted illness at the age of 80. His death was announced by his younger brother and former Golden Eaglet star, Salisu Nakandi, on the social media in the early hours of Monday. Ismaila Mabo was the head coach of the senior women's national team at the 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup, 2000 Summer Olympics and 2004 Summer Olympics. He led Nigeria to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, the team's best ever result. His funeral rites will be held on Monday in Jos. And that wraps up Trans TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe to watch us live on YouTube and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.